Elon Musk is well known for his innovative use of technology. Since he was young, he's had an insatiable need to push the boundaries of what's considered impossible. Invented online payments with PayPal, launched the electric vehicle market with Tesla, and basically invented the private space sector with SpaceX. However, you may be unaware of his most recent enormous achievement for as long as Elon Musk has been outspoken about his desire to colonize Mars. He has been working feverishly when his Starship rocket, next-generation rocket, that he hopes would one day transport humans from Earth to the Moon and ultimately to Mars. And now he has finally revealed its jaw-dropping successor, Starship 2.0, a much larger and better rocket. What are the new and improved features of this new version, and how would it help with Mars colonization? The shortest distance between Earth and Mars is 33.9 million miles. The Elon Musk plans to send more than 1 million people there by 2050. Estimated that it would take up to 1 million tons of material from ours to get the colony. We self-sufficient state. This would be too expensive. So Elon Musk has been tasked with devising a cost-efficient, ineffective method of transporting humans between planets. That's when we got wind of Starship. We'll be able to launch 100 tons into orbit and be totally reusable. But the Starship 2.0 will be 4 to 8 times larger. Let's have a look. Install Ship 1.0 to get an idea of just how massive Starship 2.0 is going to be. Starship at 1.0 is taller than the Statue of Liberty at over 400 feet. When the Super Heavy rocket booster is attached, the Saturn V rocket, which took American men to the moon during NASA's Apollo mission, is dwarfed by it. Stainless steel. How long has been used in the construction of the massive rocket? Since 2019. The diameter of the Starship is 30 feet, making it broader than any other orbital spacecraft and allowing it to carry massive cargo, giant celestial observatories, or even a big number of passengers. The Starship is more powerful than any known rocket in human history. When it comes to power, Starship rides the top 69-meter-tall rocket boosted named Super Heavy to reach space. After passing through the rigors of Earth's atmosphere, the two halves, the spaceship would separate near the edge of space. The Super Heavy boosted, the propelled Starship into space would return to his launch pad as it headed toward orbit to self-fly lander Rocky T gigantic tower outfitted with artificial arms. Double chopsticks by Elon Musk will try to capture it as it descends, since Super Heavy before only has 29. That wrapped up V1 engines. Future versions of the rocket booster will use up to 33 Raptor V2 engines to increase the Starship's engine-related capabilities. The Starship at 1.0, an expendable rocket, is capable of carrying up to 250 tons of payload into space. The Starship at 1.0, Intel on the other hand, could only carry about 150 tons of cargo. If it were a fully reusable rocket, a gigantic ship like that is required to serve as a reusable colony van, as well as a space liner to transport passengers and cargo back and forth. However, when it comes to the bulk of the payload required to construct a self-sufficient community on Mars, Starship 1.0 falls short. In the next generation of Starships, Starship 2.0, Elon Musk claims that they will be twice as large as the spaceships that will carry people and cargo to the moon, to Mars, instead of being 9 meters in diameter. The Starship version 2.0 will be 18 meters. The Starship 2.0 with these dimensions would stand at 240 meters, 775 feet high, to 18 meters, 60 foot wide. In terms of size, this would be the widest rocket ever built. Starship at 1.0's cross-sectional area would be quadrupled and its volume would be quadrupled. For the Ultra Heavy Starship 2.0, the engines would be updated. It's possible that this rocket may carry roughly 1,000 tons of payload each time it launch, 8 times as much surface area and 8 times as much propelling tank volume. Our required race spaceship 2.0, which would need around 8 times as much thrust and make the vehicle 8 times as heavy as Starship 1.0. So assuming that orbital refueling is an option, the next generation of SpaceX Super Heavy rockets may carry payloads of 800,000 kilograms, 1.764 million pounds, or more to low Earth orbit LEO, the Moon and Mars, that equates to around 800 metric tons of material. 800 to 81 tons to be able to launch a rocket. This enormous. Of course, we're talking about the powerful Starship 2.0. Elon Musk obviously needs a lot of power in his vehicles. This rocket would require around 60 Raptor 1.2 engines to take off. Fortunately, Elon Musk has been working on the Raptor to point out a more powerful engine. almost every component of the Raptor V2 engine was reworked to be more compact and easier to construct in order to decrease production costs and time. The recent interview, Elon Musk stated that V2 is much more reliable and more powerful than the previous model. Version 1.5 Raptor's maximum thrust was also increased by 25%, bringing it to 230 tons of thrust at sea level space. XSN8, 11, and SN15. 15s at version 1.5 engines, on the other hand, produce 185 tons, about 410,000 pound-feet of thrust. As a result of the Raptor 2 engine would allow the Starship to point out to take off with fewer than 60 engines. SpaceX had a 12-meter diameter its rocket design in 2016. It was capable of launching 300 tons into orbit and 450 tons to Mars. After a refueling mission is completed, it's at a payload 3 times more than the present Starship. Super Heavy, the 18-meter Starship 2.0 would carry 9 times the payload of the Starship. If scaling was the same, we shouldn't be surprised. This is an Elon Musk invention. He gets bigger and better with new versions. The 240-meter rocket would be twice the height of the Statue of Liberty and around 75% of the height of the Eiffel Tower. During a debate with Jeff Bezos over the Artemis contract, Elon Musk stated that refueling a Starship for lunar landings would take 10 launches, or else there would be insufficient fuel to get there. The crewed flight to Mars would become 100 times more complicated, which Jeff Bezos described as a high-risk endeavor. However, a larger spacecraft, 2.0, that can supply all the fuel will make things a whole lot easier. In addition, due to the Starship size, it will be able to remain a fortress for a long period until all the amenities that will serve the lives of 800 volunteers to first set on Mars can be completed. Another rationale for such a monstrous Starship could be the Mars requires 600-ton payloads that are difficult to break into 150 tons in the end. If the Martian colony is to be self-sufficient, they will need to avoid it. Manual labor due to the harsh climatic conditions on Mars. INR excavators, civil aircraft, and steel mills with large coal trains and rolling mills will be required. It's likely that the 9-meter payload bay diameter would be a problem for some of the items that the Mars colony may require in the future, but the 18-meter Starship 2.0 would be a better option and would fare better space. X's Starship 2.0 is a big cargo may then be used to launch factories and advanced manufacturing systems anywhere, and most significantly, Elon Musk will be able to achieve his plans for Mars much faster with this larger and more powerful rocket. The ability of the powerful Starship to lift more cargo per trip will reduce the number of trips required to deliver the supplies needed by colonizers. Starship at 2.0's economics must also be taken into account. You don't just build a massive rocket because you have a few billion on hand. Elon Musk said that full reusability and efficient propelling to utilization would reduce the cost of each Starship. 1.0 launched to just $2 million. However, one trip on the Starship 2.0 is equivalent to 8 trips on the Starship. One point out the cost of launching the Starship 2.0 is anticipated to be $8.4 million, which includes $7.2 million for fuel and $1.2 million for support operations. If you were to carry out 8 launches of Starship 1.0, it would cost an estimated total of $16 million. We'll turn assertively the cost of Starship 2.0. It will be roughly the same cost as the cost of Starch. At one point out, however, every batch of passengers aboard Starship 2.0 will increase in size from the initial 100 to a total of 1,000 passengers. On that note, the spaceship is approaching its orbital debut as part of its preparations for Starship's critical first orbital launch. SpaceX has been sending its improved Raptor V2 engines to STARBASE. SpaceX is at next. A major accomplishment will be the liftoff of Starship. Let us know what you think of this futuristic SpaceX Starship 2.0. The comment section below.